one time, let's go ahead and run from cross hands through the end of repulse monkeys. And then we'll look at monkeys or answer questions. Sound good? Because you've seen repulse monkeys before.
Yes, I have.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not good at it.
That's okay, but you've seen it. It's not like, what is these animals of which you speak? Okay, start from cross hands. Embrace tiger, return to mounted.
Tigers.
Yeah, contacts are good, that's good. Grasp the bird's tail.
Grasp the bird's tail.
Diagonal single whip.
Diagonal single whip.
Looking at the fist under the elbow.
Looking at
Fist.
Under the elbow.
Yeah.
Repulse monkeys, one. Repulse monkeys, two.
Monkeys, two.
Repulse monkeys, three.
Monkeys,
Okay, release. Monkeys. I'm a primate.
This is a sign for monkey.
Okay, so you've seen one online, one in person, two in person, you've seen it
Yeah.
throughout. Okay. Are there any questions? I mean, obviously, help, yeah, but I mean, and yes, sir.
On the video, it looks like when I'm going back, it looks like the other hand's coming out wide, but I'm seeing it in here. So am I throwing it too far back when I come back here? That's what I thought I saw in the video.
It's, well, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it, watch it.
Oh, that's where it was. I got it. Goes back and it comes back in.
Yeah, they sync. Things to remember, so remember the arms, they're not really doing this. They're, you know, they're staying kind of in this plane, but your body is turning, so that's always gonna make things look more complicated than it is. And feet, to get that angle correct, the one piece that I can just over and over and over and over remind you of is, so, do not shift as you put the heel down. Stay in that front leg. So here, I get my balance here. I got some feedback from somebody that this was actually more difficult for balance, and so it shouldn't be. So there's something going on. If you're finding this is more teetery, let us help you. We'll figure it out. But I step back from my hip, and if I put all my weight here, what's going to happen is my heel's going to come in too wide, and then I'm going to be off on my monkeys. So, bottom. Set the toe down, stay on the front leg. Then just enough shifting back to let that heel come down will naturally give you somewhere in that range of that 20-degree angle. Does that make sense? So don't prematurely put all your weight into that back leg. That will help you. So between learning where stepping back from your hip is, that's one, and two, not applying all that weight to the back leg. So what we're trying to do is prevent this kind of a thing happening. That's not good, monkeys. And then the other thing that happens is, wide feet, and then you're just, you end up moving in like a weird sideways thing. Strange things can happen when you're playing with monkeys. All right, so let's try it together a few times. I will be here, and you guys have room, you can watch me. I'm going to try to stay on camera, or they can watch you. It's all good. So let's be from the end of fist under elbow. And I'm going to do it nice and broken down. So begin, open the arms, and then sink the elbows and sink down, step in. So you should be about here. Don't worry about the arms yet. Stay on that front leg Reach back with the toe from the hip. Now, stay on the front leg, but just enough weight for that heel to touch down. Now, shift to the back leg, switch the hands, turn the front toes in. And open. Sink and step. Sink the elbows, sink down, step in. Step back from the hip. Set the heel down. Shift, switch the hands, turn the front toes in. Here, let me just look. Excellent, 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 excellent. Yay. And now open. Sink elbows, sink down, step in. Step back from the hip. Set the heel down, but stay on the front leg. Shift to the back leg, switch the hands, turn the front toes in. Yes, very good. Question?
Your stance, where is your balance at this point when you finish your
So
step?
slightly more on the back leg, slightly. Now you won't necessarily see that all the time, like it'll kind of look like, it kind of looks like I'm even, but I have maybe 5 to 10% more weight on this back leg. Just a tiny, but it isn't here, right? So it's not a visible back stance. It looks here, but I'm a little more loaded up on the back leg.
Thank you.
Again?
At the very end, is your left hand still here?
Yes.
Is it out?
No, because that's what we talked about last night. So this pose, this is repulse monkeys. This is the transition to get you to the next monkey. This isn't anything that I've seen on you, but I tell everybody, we try to avoid the sound of music monkeys, which are where this is what gets, emphasized. Somehow it's just really seductive to make this be the repulse monkeys. And
It is pretty.
and it feels good. It's like, this feels very relaxing and free. And so I am not saying you can't do that. Just know that is not repulse monkey. So the monkey is here. And like if I were doing this in a more application way, less in the form, I'm here. I'm here. So this thing doesn't even really necessarily get super floaty. So
Sound of music. Okay,
it's
I like
so just keep that in mind that this end part here, this is repulse monkey. That other stuff is what you do to get yourself to the next repulse monkey. Make sense? Yeah.
When you get to your repulsion, at what point, or does it, do you hesitate just a bit before?
Oh, good question. So do you stop? Do you hesitate, or does it just
Or is it
plow right through?
emphasized?
So the idea of a pendulum in Tai Chi will help
Right.
you. So yes, it stops because it's changed direction, but it doesn't stop. So same kind of thing. So it's deliberate. It doesn't really stop, but you can tell that this is a thing, right? Does that make
Yeah,
sense?
Yes, it does.
But I don't, it doesn't, it's not a hard stop. So I just think that idea of a pendulum. Yeah?
Yes, ma'am.
Let's do it 2 more times. Any more questions before we do it 2 more times? Okay, let's do it 2 more times together. Fist under elbow, the end. And begin. 1, nice and slow, but I'm not going to call out all the micro things, just play with it. I'll pause here. Good. 2, open. Step, step. Very good. 3. Good. Release. One other thing, one of the questions I got online was, I felt unbalanced, having to sit down and step in. So is it okay to just step to it? And the answer is that's what we're going for, is being able to just step there. But you must be able to feel and understand where that foot should go first. Like if that's difficult for you, meaning you end up stepping too wide, or you end up stepping kind of twisty tightrope. If that's still happening for you, it's really beneficial to get here so that you can feel where that footwork, yay, it worked, where it should go. Because it's very three-dimensional. If I just step back here, I could step any number of maybe not quite the right places to step. So if I'm doing it this way, I sink a step here. That's where that goes. And I start to build the sense of what this starts to feel like, so that then, eventually, my toe knows where to go. So play with it. You might try just feet only, because sometimes the hands, because we start thinking of too many things, will get in the way. So practice with feet only, and play with it. And then, but just know that scaffolding really is there to help you get the right foot placement. One more time together, and then we'll bow out. And repulse monkeys. Continue. Good. Release. Questions?
One last,
Uh-huh.
at the very beginning, when we're gonna start. When you follow through with the arms. does
Oh,
your
what's the
grip-
foot do? Yeah. It's naturally, like, as I extend, it naturally kind of will feel weird if I kept my toes up. So just let your
So
toes,
you just kind of,
Yep.
just follow, okay.
yeah.
I find it so easy to forget that little twist that gets you in there.
It is a lot. There's a lot to forget.
That little bit really makes a big difference.
A little bit makes a big difference, and also this is a little bit advanced for where you are, but I'll just say it anyway, that we talked about it a little bit last night. The idea of a ward off in this hand. So again, it's someone's
Right.
punching you, so don't get hit. You don't really see that in the form, but I think it. Here it is, don't get hit. So it helps with the connectedness of it. The more connected you can feel with your Tai Chi, the more sense it will make in your body. If something is disconnected, or you're just having to arbitrarily tell your arm or foot to be a certain place, it's hard to feel it, which makes it difficult to like, what am I doing? Because it's tough. So, you know, what I mean by that is sort of this dead arm here, or you're just arbitrarily telling it goes out. Whereas if I think there's just that little bit, don't get hit. A little bit, don't get hit. It changes the connection. So I just something that I invite you to play with it. As a green stash, that may be overwhelming, but I'm just planting seeds.
Understand.
Any suggestions about balance being different on one side versus the other?
Just accept it. I mean, because everyone's got a side. So he asked about balance being one side or the other.
Two.
Accept it, but work with it. So don't be judgmental to it, and just know that literally everybody's got a side. Everybody. So, you know, you can, that step test that we talked about, just do some standing leg exercises on the side that's weak, you know, to just kind of build up a little bit more endurance. And then just,
Balancing too.
yeah, just a little bit of conditioning with a whole lot of patience.
Thank you.
Alrighty, let's go ahead and bow out.
Head Instructor.
Bow to intermediate level students. Students at home, master's path training is dismissed. Good job, everybody.